Here it is. We're so live. We are so effing live,
Here
baby.
we go.
Here it is.
What's up, everyone?
Hello. Welcome to the show. We're getting started just a couple minutes early, but we're here. We're live. We're ready to roll. And how's it going? Sam, just celebrated your birthday recently. How you doing, old man? How you doing?
Grayer, achier. More. These clouds are getting on my damn nerves.
Yeah, just shot. Yeah,
Stay
just
off my
turning into the meme.
lawn.
Yeah. Old man yells at cloud. Yeah.
You know these commercials? We can't stop you from becoming your parents.
Yeah.
You know they hurt because they're true. We were fortunate enough to buy a house a few years ago, and there's just always a project. There's always something going on, and it's just all the things of home ownership and responsibility and accountability. All those commercials are so true, man. Like, cleaning your garbage cans. But no, it was a great birthday. We got to go to the UC Berkeley, USC at Sharks Ice in Oakland on Friday night. I'd never been there before. So it was a great experience to go there, and
Me neither.
It was a lot of fun. So I'll definitely be going back, and it was a great crowd. It was a lot of fun, and it was. I had a blast, and then the festivities are not over because Vince, we went over your place to watch the NFC and AFC games.
Yeah.
And Julia was going to take me out to dinner, but we ended up slamming a couple hot dogs and some cookies and chips. So we were like, we're too damn full. We're not going to be able to eat. So we postponed it to Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I have a birthday dinner tomorrow night with my wife.
My wife.
And so we're gonna go out to dinner tomorrow night and put the final celebration on turning the big 4-1. So
there you go. Right on.
9 more years until the fucking 5-0. Oh my god.
Right on.
Tim's almost there.
Dang.
Tim basically passed out already just from anger right there.
That's what's great is Tim's always older than me.
Oh man. Tyler, you're good too, man. You joined us
man.
for all these festivities too. So yeah.
He forgot to tell about how he got himself a new rookie card to add to the collection.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got it on or not, but yeah.
Yeah.
He's got himself a new Celebrini card, which we'll be watching him play in a few here.
That's right.
There you go.
Yep.
I know it's really hard to see
with the glare, but yeah, that's a Celebrini rookie card. It's nice and protected there. Yeah.
I did do some research. This card, if it was graded like a perfect gem mint 10, be like $600-700. I saw some selling, but it needs to be a 10. Always got to be a perfect.
Always got to be a 10. Yeah.
I actually have like 4 Celebrini rookie cards, including this one now. So of various lines, because these damn sports cars, they got a line for every month. So yeah, it's some of them are worth more, some of them are worth less, obviously. But these are all personal collections, so I'm not looking to sell them.
Right.
So it's an amazing gift. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and obviously we all had fun. We were all hanging out doing Sam's birthday at the at Sharks Eyes in Oakland. Yeah. I had been there before, but to be fair, it had been a couple dozen years since the last time I was there. I was a literal child the last time I was at Oakland Ice Center, Sharks Ice in Oakland. So more things change, the more they stay the same though, because I still remember that the big rink, the big Olympic rink on one side, and then the NHL sized rink on the other, which is where the Cal Berkeley game was at. So
It
remember
was cool
that.
to see the Olympic rink, man. I don't think I've ever seen an Olympic rink in person before. So
Yeah, it's a little
size
wider.
difference is pretty cool.
It's obviously it's a wider rink. Dimensions are a little bit bigger, so for the international game. So, and that's where they do a lot of the open skating as well, like open ice, free skate, whatever. When you go there on the weekends and just kind of mess around, it's on that sheet of ice as well. When you're on the NHL ice size rink, that's where they have the freaking curling. That's where they do that stuff on that sheet of ice over there. So that's kind of fun too. So they have all that kind of stuff as well at Oakland Ice Center. So that's pretty fun. We can check all that stuff out as well. But we can talk a little bit while we were watching Cal Berkeley play their game. The Sharks were playing their game against the Rangers. I did go back and check it out because it was worth checking out because the Rangers got their butts handed to them. All in the first period was where the scoring happened. Sharks ended up winning that game 3-1. Celebrini got 2 goals. Regenda chipped in a third goal, and that all came in the first period. Like I said, Toffoli, Smith had 2 assists. Misa had an assist. Colin Graff had 2 assists as well. Nedeljkovic saved all but 1. We're still missing that first shutout of the season. That's what I'm looking for now at this point. I want to see, can we get a shutout? That's something that I just want to see it. I want to see, is it possible? Can the saloon door defense put a shutout on the board before the end of the year? I want to see one. Just give me one before the end of the year. Give me one shutout.
Mac almost had a hat trick before there was even a commercial break in the game.
I know, man. Impressive. It was kind of wild. So Celebrini had the first and the third goals of the game, but like those goals came early, man. They were all the Sharks were up. I believe they were up. As I'm looking back at it, they were up 3-0. About 7.5 minutes into the game. It was really quick. Those were lightning strikes. Before the Cal game even started, we had seen all 3 of those goals because they had the Sharks game on just on one of the TVs before we went in to go watch the game. The Lone Rangers goal happened about almost 13 minutes into the period. So that was the game. We didn't miss any scoring in that game, so that was nice. That was nice for them. And this was also the Niners Sharks Bay Area Unite game as well. So they were giving away a Niners themed jersey, which was kind of cool. It was it was all red and with the shark teeth at the bottom. It was kind of a cool looking jersey, and one that I'm sure they'll be doing a random draw giveaway of some kind. If we happen to find ourselves at a game sometime in the future, maybe like in a prize pack or something, they'll probably give that away to a random fan or something as well. So if you missed out on your chance, it may not be over just yet. You never know. So
right.
For win of the week, Sam, you had the Tampa Bay game earlier this past week. Unfortunately, they did not win that game. Me and Tyler did have this Rangers game. So for win of the week on the season, I'm at 10 this year. I've been raking them in. That's good. You're at 7, Sam. Tyler, you're at 6. So you're catching up a little bit. Upcoming games
slowly
for this week,
but surely.
All 4 games are on the road. None of these are back-to-backs, though. So we have at Vancouver tonight. at Edmonton on Thursday, at Calgary on Saturday, and then at Chicago on Monday. That game will start before we start recording, so I'm going to allow us to count it if you want it. So
I'm taking Vandy.
All right, you're going to take Vancouver. Sam, what game do you want?
The Calgary.
You want Calgary?
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna take Chicago. So that way we are all live. Every single one of us can try to gain a point on each other that way, so nobody's stacking up too far. Okay, everybody has a chance to and if we all get a point, that means the Sharks got at least 3 wins this week. And that's what we really want to see. We want to see them keep building wins. Speaking of which, they are currently in the final wild card position as the game started this week. They're sitting in the 8th spot. So right on the edge. They've been kind of on the playoff bubble basically since just December. Basically, they started off losing 6 straight, 0-4-2, I believe, with the 2 overtime losses. But basically after that, they've won a lot more than they've lost. Obviously, they're above regular 500, let alone NHL 500. So this is this is a pretty good team.
You got Sherwood coming too. He's gonna be here.
Yeah, he's if he's not he's gonna be on the trip. I think he's not playing tonight.
He's not playing tonight.
He's not playing tonight. This would have been against his old team too. We just got him from Vancouver. So unfortunately, he's not going to get to play in the revenge game, or whatever. But he's really close to playing. Kurashev is on the road trip as well as McMadolan. So all 3 of them are believed to be able to play on this road trip at some point soon. So they're really close to playing. After the Chicago game, the only game left before the Olympic break is Colorado on Wednesday. So. And then after that, we're off for a couple of weeks for hockey for the Olympics. So there we go. That's, this is it. It's going to be, this is the time we got to start stacking wins. Edmonton is the only, really super tough team on the schedule right now for this upcoming week. Colorado obviously is the really tough one that's looming after Chicago, but they're not on this schedule for this week yet. So, I'd love to see him win all 3 of these games that we have picked. And if they can also steal that Edmonton game, that'd be huge as well. Obviously going 4-0 on the road, massive, but 3-1 would be great.
Right.
I would love to see that. That's what I have. And frankly, all 3 of those teams are behind you in the standings. Frankly, at this point, I'm expecting them to. They're a good enough team now. I think we can say they're a good enough team that I should expect the Sharks to win these games, all 3 of these games. So there we go. I'm knock on wood, but these are teams you're supposed to beat now at this point. You're a good enough team. Celebrini is that much of a difference maker. And obviously I don't want him to be the only reason you'll win these games, but get the job done. It's right there for you. Let's start stacking wins, start stacking points, and let's not take it to overtime. Let's do it in regulation. Don't just hand out free points to anybody. Chicago is close enough in the standings. I think that if you give them a free point or 2, that they may. They're only about 5 points behind you in the standings. I don't want them to get any thoughts about sneaking back into it. So let's just keep them buried.
You had an interesting speculation about Jeff Skinner. He may or may not be on the team soon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So when we start activating these players, there's only 1 spot left on the roster, and you got 3 players that are, being activated. They've already cleared room. So there's actually 2 spots now, really, but. So there's basically 2 spots and 3 players that are to be activated, and I think Jeff Skinner is probably going to be the odd man out. He's by all measurable statistics, he's kind of been the bust, of the offseason. He hasn't provided that scoring punch that you expected or you wanted him to provide. And I suspect it sounds like there may have been quiet whispers trying to find a trade partner for him. I don't know if that's really materialized because he hasn't really performed that well. And there's a reason why the Sharks were able to get him for fairly cheaply at this point in his career, because I don't know if it's really there anymore, So he may end up being put on waivers and being sent down to
if he doesn't clear waivers, could he be picked up by the Barracudas? I guess.
He would be sent down to the CUDA if he ends up clearing waivers. It would be the same situation that Nick Leddy found himself in. So they already did it once for Leddy, and so it would be the same situation if nobody picked him up on waivers. That's what would happen, is he would end up being assigned to the Barracuda. And from there, who knows what happens. Yeah, he may accept the assignment. He may just ask for his outright release and to try to find his own way somewhere else. I don't know. That's still to be determined. And we don't, and this is all speculation. The Sharks may end up finding a trade partner. Something may happen. They may end up getting, a player to be named later, which may end up being, or, something, prospects to be named later,
something down the pipeline,
considerations
like
to
a
be
small
determined
minor
later,
trade.
and the consideration could end up being nothing. Like literally just take him from us. Like there are ways around it later, but yeah, so that we'll see what happens here. There's going to be ways around it, and who knows, it may end up not even being Jeff Skinner. There may be another move that ends up happening for another player that's a little bit further down the roster. We don't entirely know. Maybe another trade happens that makes a little bit more sense, that clears up the roster spot. I don't know. Mike Greer is always keeping his ear to the ground, keeping, like just kind of looking for stuff. He's making moves. Mike Greer stays making moves. He stays ready. So, I mean, I'm really interested to see what happens and what's going to be happening, how he's going to solve this problem, because it's an interesting, unique, fun problem to have, because you got NHL quality caliber players. You got more than you have room for, and it's been a while since we've had this problem. So,
Agreed.
it's
a great
I mean, they're not the
have.
best. I mean, they're not all the best caliber players, but they are NHL caliber players. Jeff Skinner,
Right.
even though he's having a down year, and he's a former, Calder Trophy winner for, best rookie. He beat out Logan Couture for it. So, once upon a time, I was pissed off about that at the time, but, so it was a down year for him, obviously, but we'll see if somebody takes him. I don't know. I don't know if anybody will or not. And obviously it's, you don't want to get absolutely nothing for him, but if somebody's willing to take him for absolutely nothing, and that's what you can get, and if that's the move, then that's the move. I don't know. This roster spot has to be cleared though at some point. So that's what we got here. That's what's coming down the pipeline. Yeah.
Love it, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. Go Sharkies.
All right. Go Sharks. Okay, so I think it's time to switch gears. Let's start talking about football. And everybody came over. You guys came over to my place, and we watched the championship games on Sunday. And so we got to see. First, we saw a we'll call it a defensive struggle. How about that? Instead of calling it a snooze fest, let's call it a defensive struggle between the Patriots and the Broncos. The Patriots end up winning that game. And then the nightcap was the Rams and the Seahawks, which was decidedly not a defensive struggle. That was a very high scoring game. The Seahawks end up coming out of that one. And I want to go hold my head underwater till the bubbles stop coming, because that was, oh my God, this is my nightmare. I'm cheering for the Meteor because as a Niners fan, having this as the Niners fan, where the Niners stadium is hosting the Super Bowl, you have on one side the rival, the Seahawks, playing for a Super Bowl in my stadium. That does not feel good. And then on the other side, you have the Patriots, who just ended their dynasty. You know, their dynasty just ended 6 years ago, right? It was over. The dynasty was over. It just ended, and they're back in the Super Bowl, and that doesn't feel good either. They had six. The Niners were the first team to get 5 Super Bowls. They're still stuck at 5. The Steelers now have 6. The Patriots have 6. The Cowboys tied the Niners for 5 the year after the Niners got 5. So you know, what was for the briefest of moments, you know, alone at the top, now is a very crowded room full of other teams with, you know, a whole lot of championship rings, you know. So it's been a long time, and the Niners have had 3 different shots at getting number 6. So it does not feel great to have the Patriots going for number 7 to put themselves further in front of me. So either the Patriots push themselves further out and make it harder to catch them, or the Seahawks get no ring. I don't like that at all.
I'm kind of rooting for the Seahawks, but I'm just telling you. Only
I understand that.
The Patriots.
No, and I get that, and I understand that, and I don't like it. Oh man, let's go Meteor. I don't know, man. This sucks. I don't like it at all. Why couldn't the Bears have another fourth quarter comeback in the divisional round? Why couldn't they finish the job against the Rams? Because then I could have at least had a rooting interest in the NFC title game, you know? Oh, damn it. Okay. So anybody else want to jump in on these games?
I mean,
me crying.
Seattle
looked great. They really did, man. Seattle looked phenomenal. Except for that taunting penalty. Oh my God. He almost cost him the game.
Well, I mean, there's 2 things. I mean, yeah, that could have cost the game, but even the Rams, that muff punt, or I'm sorry, return. If he doesn't muff that, you know, I think the Rams are up by 4, and then they go on to win that game. So I think that was a deciding factor in the whole game. Ultimately, more than the taunting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so
that drive was over. Yeah, that drive was over though. Yeah. Anyway, the Patriots game.
Yeah, the Patriots game. I mean, you can't. I think that game, you write that off, right? Like if I'm the Seahawks, I'm not watching any of that game tape, just because nobody could see. It was a defensive slugfest, but it did tell you how good, you know, each team held up defensively. I mean, they could have easily keeled over on one end or the other, just letting the run game do its thing. So
I think the first half is valuable. I think the first half tape is valuable before the snow took over.
Yeah, I still think that the Patriots defense is real, but so are the Seahawks defense. Like, that defense is, like, I say what you want about the Rams, but every time they've seen the Rams, it's been a high scoring game, right? So other than that, their defense has been pretty locked in. So it boils down to, I think, in my opinion, who's going to make the least amount of mistakes when it comes to the Super Bowl. So, and that team's going to win. So who's more disciplined?
That's the question.
Mm-hmm.
tell you what, because I don't want either team to win, it's gonna let me be able to give the most like a fairly unbiased opinion about what I think will actually happen, and I'm not gonna do that right now because I'm still angry, but I can probably do it next week. But also like for our little pick'em game that we have. So based on what happened, Sam, you had the Patriots and the Rams. Both Tyler and I had the Patriots and the Seahawks. So you got one right, Sam. Me and Tyler got two right. That means Tyler is leading the way with 27 points. I have 26 points. Sam, you have 23 points. The Super Bowl is worth 8 points. So we don't have to make our picks this week. We are all within 8 points of each other, so it is going to come down to the Super Bowl pick. That being said, so that's we're right there. The pick'em is going to be right there. That being said, I will pick whatever you don't pick, Tyler. Just for the record, just for the pick'em game, I'm going to pick whatever you don't pick. Just for the purposes of our little game. That being said, I'm not
Patriots.
Yeah, what?
That means you're gonna side with the Patriots.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna for our pick'em game. That's probably what's gonna end up happening, just for a chance at winning this little silly little game that we have going that we don't really have anything for real on. Anyway,
it's like whose line is it anyway? All
yeah.
Points don't matter. It's all
the points literally don't matter. We'll revisit that and make official picks next week. You don't have to actually worry about that just yet. As far as around the league goes, though, we do have some coaching coaching news. Mike McCarthy is your new head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I guess Pittsburgh wanted to didn't want to make too much changes, so instead they got rid of a guy named Mike who last was in the Super Bowl in 2011 and hasn't won a meaningful playoff game since then, and hired him with a guy named Mike who was last in the Super Bowl in 2011 and hasn't won a meaningful playoff game since then.
Against against the I think that Super Bowl was the Cowboys and
that's exactly that. No, it was the Packers.
Packers. That's right. Packers and
Steelers. Right. That was the joke. They played each other. That was the joke.
Oh boy. He's the oldest Steelers coach to be hired in 70 years. So that's
he's not gonna last 17 years. This is gonna be the shortest hire that the Steelers have made in a long time, because you had Chuck Noll for freaking 3 decades, and then you had freaking what's his name who's on CBS now. Cowher. Bill Cowher. And then
there you go.
And then you had Mac Tomlin. You basically have had 3 guys that have coached the Steelers for the last 50 years. 60 years almost, I think at this point. 60 years almost, so this guy's not gonna last the 15 years or whatever the last average has been for the last 2 guys. So he's even if he has a successful run, whatever that may be, it's not going to be that long. Like but on the outside, he's going to last about 10. If he's wildly successful, which I don't think he will be, I think he's probably going to flame out in about 4 years or so. He's probably what's going to happen this first year. The offense is probably going to look a lot better. They're probably going to win a couple more games. They're going to finish 10, 11 wins maybe if they get a quarterback. If they get a quarterback, that's the thing. They have to have a quarterback of some kind, because Aaron's not going to do it. Aaron's not coming back to play for Mike McCarthy.
I mean,
that's the other thing.
I wouldn't rule it out yet. Just
I am ruling it out. I think that's not happening.
Well, I think it's not happening, but I'm not going to rule it out yet, just because Mike McCarthy did have Aaron Rodgers with Green Bay. So I'm not going to rule it out just yet. But, man, I also think that there's a good chance that the 49ers could be shopping their backup quarterback if they can get the right price for it too. You know what I mean? So you never know. There could be a lot of movements from here and on out. But you know what? It hasn't been happening. The Raiders haven't had a new head coach yet, and the Eagles still can't find an OC. And I don't know what's going on. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
Man, Tim, cue the Raider shit. Just to talk about this real quick is, I thought, last week we were talking about it a little bit, and I was saying that Davis Webb is probably a guy that they were considering. And Sean Payton was in the media the past couple of days kind of talking crap about the Raiders. So he has this weird beef with the Raiders between him and Al Davis, and Bill Parcells told him back in the day, don't take the job. So then the year later, that's when Sean Payton ends up with the Saints. So this dates back 20 plus years, and there's just this weird hatred that Sean Payton has for the Raiders. But anyway, so Davis Webb has interviewed for a second time with the Raiders, but then Denver has fired their offensive coordinator, which suggests to me that they're promoting Davis Webb, and we're going to give you a big fat pay raise to not go to the Raiders. So I'm thinking that he's probably going to stay with Denver because he'll probably have an opportunity to actually install game plans and be better prepared as an offensive coordinator and maybe get a job next year. It's a little nerve-wracking right now because you can't hire anybody that you may have targeted on a Super Bowl team because you can't hire them until after the Super Bowl, which means this could get drawn out for another 2 weeks. If you're trying to go all in on Kubiak, and the Seahawks could say, we'll make you the highest paid offensive coordinator. And he can stay there for another year and run it back and maybe go for a repeat if they were to win. So I guess my overall anxiety is, going into this coaching search, Clay Kubiak was kind of like the big fish, the number one name that, as far as like a young guy that people want. And if you don't get him, I feel like anything less feels like a letdown from like an optic standpoint, because all the reports were that the Raiders are going hard at Davis Webb because he's this young quarterback guru coaching genius, and he's the next young prodigy, and it sounds like you're going to miss out on him. And then you got the offensive coordinator that's now in the Super Bowl, and maybe you miss out on him. And now like you're left with what? Vance Joseph, Cliff Kingsbury, and like, I'm not saying that those are bad head coaches. They could very well be very good hires. I'm just saying from an optics, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't look good. And it's starting to feel like this, this whole thing about, Tom Brady's pool, the gravitas is bullshit. So, but I'll say that, this is the narrative that the Raiders have to overcome, because they've had, right or wrong, doesn't matter. The facts are the facts, that they have an itchy trigger figure that, if there's no success, they fire a guy. No success, fire a guy. And there's been so many atomic bombs that have just blown up in the Raiders' face. So like, this has been going on for 20 years. They've tried to get it right. So they give John Gruden the $100 million, and then the emails come out, and Henry Ruggs and Antonio Brown situation. And then you probably should have hired Rich Bisaccia, and you missed that. So then you hire Josh McDaniels, and he was right. At his press conference, he said the number one thing with the Raiders is that they've been so unstable, and we're here to try to provide some stability. And they said they had a plan. You bring in Devontae Adams, you mishandled Derek Carr, and that's a complete train wreck. That blows up in your face. And then you move on to Antonio Pierce because we need a leader of men. And then that blows up in your face.
Don't forget Chandler Jones.
And then the Chandler Jones situation, and it's just, then you move on to Pete Carroll because we need an adult in the room, and that blows up in your face. And I think like now that we know what happened with Pete Carroll, that we now know that he didn't really hire Chip Kelly. He didn't really hire anybody on the offensive side of the ball other than his sons, So I think, if you're going to hire a coach, no matter who the coach is, you got to let them pick who they work with. That's just basic. So I think, that's why so many Raider insiders and former players who talk about this I get it. They were a terrible team last season under Pete Carroll, but this is what they talked about is you're going to have another one and done. And, even though it didn't come out how you wanted it, were you better off letting Pete Carroll hire his coach, hire his OC, hire his DC, pick the ingredients, right? And let it ride. Is that a better option? Because the optics is like, no matter what, if you don't get it done in year 1 or year 2, you're fired. And these coaches talk, like all of these coaches, it's a fraternity. We hear that all the time, that there's a players fraternity and then there's the coaching fraternity. So all of these coaches talk. You think Pete Carroll ain't talking to coaches about what went wrong? You think Antonio Pierce ain't talking? All of these guys at some point are talking to other coaches, and you don't have a leg to stand on, Raider front office or ownership. You did this to yourself. Like, it's been 20 years of piss poor management, and it's going to take a lot to overcome it. And of course, I want to win. Of course, I want to have a good football team, but you can't deny that all of these things have blown up in your face. Even though they may sound like good plans and good ideas, it didn't work. It did not work. And now you're here, and now, you have an opportunity to get a coach. You have opportunity to with the number 1 overall pick. You got all this salary cap room. But you need to have the right guy. And it just seems like, for whatever reason, I'm starting to get a little bit of anxiety because there hasn't been a coaching announcement. And we haven't heard, as of the time of this recording or me checking my phone and Reddit and Twitter and all this, I haven't heard of a second interview with Kubiak or any progress with what's going on with Davis Webb or any other coaches. So my only hope is they have some type of gentleman's agreement, handshake deal with Kubiak, that, after the Super Bowl, we're going to announce it, per NFL rules. But it is a little concerning that this isn't done. And, it's the 3 last jobs that are out there are the Raiders, the Cardinals, and the Browns. So
the 3 most dysfunctional franchises in the league right now.
Exactly.
Well, that's not fair to the Jets. 3 out of the 4. And the only reason the Jets isn't dysfunctional right now is because they, for some reason, decided to be even more dysfunctional by keeping the terrible head coach.
Aaron Glenn just cleared house for them right now. So
yeah,
everyone's getting fired in the Jets roster.
Yeah. So, that's going to be dysfunctional whether they kept him or fired him. So, dysfunction through chaos either way. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a similar situation that I think is kind of mind-boggling to me, but the Eagles haven't been able to land a OC. Brian Daboll looks like he's going to take the Titans OC job if he can't get a head coaching gig anywhere else. We were looking at possibly McDaniels, and he takes the OC job to go be with Harbaugh. So that was probably, definitely Daniels was your number one, I think. But I don't think the Eagles wanted that. I think if you look at it, Daniels is probably going to be a head coach again following next season, So I think that's probably one of the things that the Eagles want is that whoever they get, they need at least a minimum of 2 years, right? So, and I think, unfortunately, if you're going to coach and you're a good OC and you're going to coach this Eagles team, you're probably going to get a head coaching gig immediately following afterwards, unless you blunder it like the last 2 out of the 4 did. But I mean, look at Shane Steichen and look at Kellen Moore, and say what you want about Kellen Moore and the Saints. That team went from being dead last in almost every category offensively to, middle of the pack with what they had. So,
I mean, depending on what the Saints do with the draft and free agency, they ended the year strong, and it feels like they have something in that quarterback and that coach, right? It feels like something good. So you're going into next season, you're like, hey, they may not be a 14-win team, but they could be a 9-10 win team if you could see the foundation.
There's a non-0% of me that wanted them to just make the Saints the playoff team from the NFC South, just because they're at least fun to watch,
Right.
Like just screw the regular standings. Like I would have rather watched the Saints in the playoffs than the Panthers or anybody else, because they were at least fun and they were at least playing well at the end of the year, instead of everybody else just kind of going ass first into the playoffs.
And that's with a young team like that. They were in salary cap hell. They got through it. They got through that gauntlet, and they were improving. So you feel good. So, and that's what the Raiders. That's the blueprint that the Raiders need to be on. Is you need to have a coach. You're going to have most likely the young quarterback. Can you be a fun 6-7 win team that's improving, right? That feels good. You spent your money well, and then it's that second year where you're like, hey, man, if we get another free agent and a really good draft, we could be a 10-11 win team. Do you see the foundation? And that's what I'm looking for as a Raider fan, because I've been saying this for years and years and years. You got to learn how to walk before you run. And with every plan we have ever had as a Raider team, it is blown up. It is blown up. And remember that movie? Is it Nope? Where he says, "Are there such things as bad miracles?" I have never seen. This is a bad miracle about how freaking bad this team has been. It's going on a quarter century, guys. 2 playoff appearances in a quarter century. Like, that is shameful. And I know Mark Davis gets shit for it, and rightfully so. But it's just every plan is just blown up. Even the Bengals fall into Joe Burrow in a couple of playoff appearances, and appearances in some AFC championship games and a playoff win here and
there. They got to a Super Bowl against the Rams.
You can't even freaking accidentally make a mistake and end up there. Even the Bears ended up in the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman. I don't even have that. And then you get these fucking Patriot fans that they're back in there. They just won a bunch. I hate them.
I think we found our clip of the week.
There's your clip, Tim. There's your clip right there.
Oh man.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
It's okay to laugh on my pain.
Oh man. Okay, so just other coaching hires that have happened since we last talked. Joe Brady got hired this morning. He's being promoted from offensive coordinator in Buffalo to head coach in Buffalo. Jesse Minter is going to be the head coach in Baltimore. Jeff Halfley is going to Miami.
What?
Yeah, sure. I don't know how that's an improvement, but okay. Moving on. Okay. So the Warriors had a week. They had a week. They lose at Dallas on Thursday, and then they go to play 2 games in Minnesota. They were supposed to play on Saturday. Obviously, with the tragedy and chaos that happened on Saturday, that game did not happen on Saturday. They ended up postponing it to Sunday. The Warriors did end up winning that game on Sunday. And then they followed up that what was supposed to be as a Saturday and then Monday, spaced out game ended up being a back-to-back game. And because it was a back-to-back, they then held out Steph and Dre, both players on the Monday game. And then they ended up losing that game 103. So as far as the standings go, the Warriors are 26 and 22. They're currently sitting in 8th in the West. They're 2 games back of 7th place. Upcoming games, they're at Utah on Wednesday, and then they're at home against Detroit on Friday.
I could see them losing both those games. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
with you. I mean, Utah.
Detroit is top of the standings in the East.
Yeah.
Utah
For
is
whatever reason. Utah and Lauri Markkanen, they circle the Warriors. I don't know what happened in between the talks trying to trade for him, but it seems like bad blood.
Yeah, even though Utah is currently sitting in 13th, in the standings, that's not, for whatever reason, that is just a red alert game. If they're not, totally focused and zeroed in, that could be a trap game. I could see that being a trap game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's just overall, the vibes are not vibing. Obviously, just with state of the world in general, and then having to play 2 games in Minnesota as the vibes are not vibing, just extra did not feel good. Like it was just, and then that the what was the Saturday game that ended up being the Sunday game, that was supposed to be the Prince tribute game, and it was. Minnesota was wearing Prince inspired uniforms, and the court was all purpled out with the Prince logo, and it was supposed to be cool Prince vibes, and it's just just the whole sucks, man. It just sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
I fucking hate it. Pisses me off. A lot of things, and obviously basketball is nowhere near the most important thing at all. Like but it's.
It's escapism, man.
It's supposed to be escapism. Sports is supposed to, a lot of people find a chance to like leave the troubles behind, but certain people have decided to bring the trouble to the people of Minneapolis, and they're bringing it to a bunch of other places too, and it sucks, and I fucking hate it.
Yep.
And yeah, so. And I mean, anybody who knows us. They know where we stand on this, so we don't need to keep hammering the point home. But yeah, anyway, hopefully the Warriors can turn it around, and I think that's that's all I really feel like saying about that at this point. If I keep talking, I'm gonna start crying. So let's not.
Well, I mean, Warriors have a chance to be able to turn this around. It sounds like Kuminga's now going to stay on the roster because of the whole Jimmy Butler thing. Mm-hmm. Here we go with this whole song and dance again. So I don't know what to expect. At this point, I don't want to be Dunleavy just because that sounds like one of the worst jobs to have in the NBA right now.
Kid show Lamb Chops play along.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is the song that never ends. I feel like that's the Kuminga saga that like it just goes on and on and on, and that he's unhappy and the Warriors are unhappy, but then like it's such a stupid situation that I'm burnt out on it, and I just want it to be over. One way or the other. Just I want it to be over. It ain't gonna work, guys. It ain't gonna work. They're not on the same page. They're not on the same page. And I was thinking about this the other day and Steve Kerr even said this in the past, where as he talks about like when he's going to retire or whatever, is that, you know, in leadership, in business, coaching, as a leader, you have like 7 years, 6 to 7 years until your voice, it just, players don't respond, workers don't respond. And that's what Phil Jackson used to say is like, you know, you got about 7 years in a location as a coach, and then people tune you out. You wear out your welcome. And I love Steve Kerr. We love Steph Curry. We love all the players, but it just feels like this version of the Warriors, it's ran its course. It's like, it's truly time. Thank you for all the memories. It's been a hell of a ride. I never thought the Warriors would ever be this good. Out of all the franchises that were once in the Bay Area, I never thought the Warriors would be the one that won the most.
Right?
Yeah.
I distinctly remember, like, before the 2015 season, the 2014-2015 season, when the first championship happened, I was shooting hoops with our old theater buddy Louie, and I was like, dude, can you just imagine, like, if the Warriors ever even like just won one championship? Like, we were just talking like, dude, like, I know, right? It would be just so wild, right? And then literally the very season it happens, like, and that's the year they broke through. And then it happens 3 more times over the next 7 years after that.
Right.
Like, I just,
no one saw it.
I'm gonna cherish these memories are gonna, I'm gonna take these to my fucking grave. You know, I'm forever appreciative for that, for this dynasty, this unexpected dynasty, because the Warriors for 40 years, literally my life plus an extra 10 years before this, you know, were unexpected. Like, this was never going to happen. The Warriors were a punching bag. It was a laughing stock of a franchise until this happened, you know? So I'm forever grateful. I don't forget where we were before this. And it's just something that I'm going to take with me forever. And and you know what? It does feel like it is time to maybe embrace embrace a tear down. Maybe we've maybe have
I think
reached
we
that
got
point.
one more year. We got one more year because you got Steph, Draymond, Jimmy Butler. You still got some contracts next year.
Yeah, the contracts are all lined up for 2027
and Steve Kerr
final. And
so
Steve Kerr.
I think you're going to have some type of farewell tour next year. And then hopefully if Jimmy Butler's back, they're all, you know, I don't know what the last hoorah is, but
yeah,
the last hoorah of whatever this version of the Warriors is. I just don't see it doing anything as far as like the wins. Like this team's not going to compete to win a championship. That's just period.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. It ain't going to happen with this team. And then next year, getting a healthy Jimmy Butler back. Okay, he's 100%. Is he going to be what he was doing this season, coming off of that injury, a year older? Like, you know, we got to be real. Got to be real with yourselves. And no one said, like, you know, the end of a dynasty like this is pretty. So I'm just kind of like enjoying the last great moments of Curry and the other players because he's still playing really good. And
yeah,
I hope that he's not in another jersey. I hope he retires a Warrior, but you can't pay Steph Curry 35, 40, $50 million a year and be a competitive team. Like, unfortunately, you got to bring in other superstars to be competitive. And that's the salary cap. That's the apron. So like next year, you're going to run it back probably. And then it's the year after that. Maybe all of these contracts are off. So you're going to have to be under all the aprons for 1 year until you could go back into the apron. So you're not going to go back into those apron penalties right away. It's going to take some years to like recoup your money, build a team, get draft picks. Like, so I don't know what they do, but this team is just not. It's not.
There's going to be a couple of years of pain, and you know what? Frankly, some of these fans, some of these cocky newer Warriors fans, they weren't around for the pain. Maybe maybe it'll be good. It'll be good character building, you know, to understand what we went through, you know, in those dark days, you know, the before times, you know, the before
maybe
times.
Chase Center will have those $8 tickets we grew up with in the upper
you know,
bowl.
Right? Maybe we'll get those old commercials with the Donald Foyle. It's a great time out. You know,
dude, I remember going to the Warriors games for like $8 upper bowl.
Oh man,
my fondest memory is listening advertisements saying the opposing team's player is coming to town to play.
You want to see
the Warriors?
Kobe?
Yeah.
You want to see Kobe and Shaq?
Come check out Scottie Pippen and the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah. I remember you could get like they used to do like the 3-pack where like 3 road teams would come in, and it would be like you pick your 3 out of 4, and you know, to see these superstars, you know.
Yep. Oh yeah.
But you know what people don't remember, real quick, what people don't remember, the Golden State Warrior fans, a lot of them, like, yeah, there's a lot of new fans because winning brings new fans.
Winning's, yeah, absolutely.
But the Golden State Warriors, when they were a dog shit team, they sold out Oracle Arena for years when they were an 18, 19 or less win team. Go back and look at it. So the Golden State Warrior fans showed up when they were dog crap.
And it was because of the community outreach. It was, you know, a great time out. They sold it as a entertainment as well. Like they went out to the community. They gave tickets away to like the schools and stuff too. Like the outreach team worked their ass off to get butts in seats, you know. And so a lot of kids got to go see the Warriors for on the cheap or free, you know.
Absolutely.
You know,
I don't know if the Warriors did this. I don't know if the Warriors did this, but on that note of just getting, you know, butts in the seats, did you guys hear the Kings are now offering their tickets at Costco? You could purchase Kings tickets at Costco.
I did hear this. Yeah.
I don't know if any basketball team has ever done that. Like, I don't want to give their ownership praise just because he is just a complete idiot himself, but nonetheless, that is a very unique way to get some cheap seats in some seats.
Is it like the same deal what like the Sharks do, or what the A's and Giants used to do, or like you get 2 tickets for $40 or something like that?
Yeah, probably. I imagine something along those lines. I didn't delve into it more, just saw the highlight of it, and I was thinking, I can't even think the Warriors did that at one point in time.
No.
I don't remember the Warriors, but I always remember the Sharks because you get the cardboard thing off the shelf, and then you know.
Yeah, I mean the Sharks was just a couple of years ago. Yeah. As well. So anyway, okay, so just a quick Sharks update. The Sharks, less than 6 minutes into the game tonight, have already chased the goalie. They're up 3-1.
Yeah.
So that game's off to a hot start. With that being said, I think it's time to wrap this bad boy up, unless anybody else has anything else they want to add. No. Okay. Thanks for checking out the show. You subscribe on the YouTube, hit the bell to get alerts for when we go live. We're gonna break this up into smaller sections as well for, you know, if you want to hear just about the NFL or just about us, you know, talk about the Sharks or whatever. Also, check us out on social media as well. SVT Sports Pod. Slide into those DMs. Thank you so much for listening, for watching the videos. FJF, and be nice to each other. Take care of each other. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
FJ.